You gotta do it again.
All right, I got you. So shouts out to Arailyus and Arailyus Kingdom. But so if you ever do your YouTube intro, your content, whatever, it'll be like ARAILYUSK.
I love that.
I think it's fire.
Okay, so before we get into this video, let's get into my look. So today is Sunday. I went to church today. This is what I wore to church. Now, this is not what I had planned to wear to church. I planned to wear this skirt. I got it from Shein. And it's not that it did not fit. I bought a large, which is the right size. But this morning when I was getting ready for church, I put the skirt on, and it has a little zipper. Something on the zipper just popped off. So it wasn't that it was too small. It's just, I got it from Shein. So yeah, I will send that back. But so this was like the next thing that I could come up with, because I already had the yellow stockings on. So I was like, well, I gotta do something with the yellow, you know, because another thing we know about Shein, I mean, we know the quality is not there. So most of the stockings, and I realize that's why I buy stockings so much, because they're so cheap, you about ain't gonna get but one wear out of them, to be honest. So like the stockings that I have on, like the yellow ones, they already got runs in them. Like I'm not gonna be able to wear these again. So I already had the yellow stockings on, so I was like, well, we gotta build on it. So I knew I was gonna wear this blazer. I knew I was gonna wear this top, but I would have had that skirt on. So that's really about the only big difference, but it made the look totally different because it's literally just yellow and black. And I like it, even though I would have loved to have the animal print for the contrast, the pop of color, you know, just to add in a little pattern to a solid outfit. Also because I've done a black and yellow outfit before. So, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with repeating colors, but I was just trying to do something a little bit different, which is why I wanted to do the animal print. But it's okay because this look came together. I end up wearing flats. I know I have on a little heel in that picture, but girl, this is the shoe I wore to church. I've had these shoes forever. I got these, I think, from Marshall's. I have had these forever. So that's what I end up wearing, because actually I wore a pair of boots yesterday that I got from Amazon, and those were not comfortable. So my knee was hurting. So yes, I took the picture in the heels, but I wore flats. But yeah, Pastor asked me if I was a Steelers fan today. And I was like, yeah, But yeah, so that is my little look for today. I hope you guys will like it. I am an LTK creator, so I will have my LTK link down below. Yeah, now let's get into this video. Hey y'all, it's Arailyus. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hey, I'm Arailyus. I consider myself a socially awkward creative. I make content about all kind of stuff. I always ask that you at least watch this video and maybe a couple others while you at it. Check out my vibe, because girl, boy, it's a lot. But if you like my vibe, I would love to have you as a part of the family. And if you are coming back for another video, hey, thank you so much for coming back for another video. It means the world to me. It truly does. So that's Vixen. A part of me feel like I should have wrote a script for this, but then another part of me is like, you know, Ray's just talk, right? And whatever come out, you know, you can go back and edit it, but whatever come out, maybe that's what need to come out, right? So, okay. The whole, and yes, I am a little bit late on this too, whatever. But I just wanted to talk about it. The whole Amanda Seales situation, my heart goes out to her. I feel bad for her in the sense that, and I said this like before anything ever happened with her, before she ever got in trouble. I think it was something like back in a little while ago, they were like clowning her for something that she did, right? And I just remember saying to myself, I was like, why do I relate so much to her? You know, I feel like in a sense, I'm not gonna say like I'm her, but I feel like I'm in a similar situation. It's kind of one of those, like, this is how I look at her situation, right? Okay. She self-diagnosed herself as neurodivergent, right? Or being on the autism spectrum, right? So, first of all, people are mad at her for self-diagnosing herself. I do not have an autism diagnosis, but the more that I learn about it, I feel like I'm neurodivergent too, right? So, okay, I self-diagnose myself, right? So, if I do it, it's like, who the hell she thinks she is? Oh, now she thinks she a therapist. She can diagnose herself and right? But somebody else can say, oh, I'm bipolar. Somebody that ain't never seen a psychiatrist or nothing, you know, and everybody love them and laugh at them and support them or whatever. It's kind of one of those, it's okay when everybody else do it, but when I do it, it's a problem. Like that's kind of the vibes. And that's how I feel about Amanda Seales. I don't know like a whole lot of details. I don't, but I just know little bits and pieces. And I remember the whole situation with the party that Issa Rae's, I think it was her publicist that was having, and she was not invited. You know, and she said something to Issa about it, you know, and Issa Rae was kind of like, you know, hey, I'm not messing with that. I bring up Issa Rae because I feel like I can relate to her too in like the awkwardness, the socially awkward part or whatever. But anyway, that's just a little side note. But I just remember, you know, like it was kind of like they didn't want her there, right? She's upset and she's talking about it because obviously she wanted to be at the party, you know, and they were like, no, we don't want you here. And I have made a video about this before, you know, like how my childhood was. I have a bipolar diagnosis, BPD, anxiety, depression, ADHD, OCD, and ADHD, OCD, and now the whole autism situation or whatever, right? And I mean, there's even on the schizotypical side that I even, you know, like I have those diagnoses, but in my mind, I still feel like there is something else. Like, it's not that it's not bipolar or it's not BPD. I feel like it's something else too. And I know schizophrenia, it sounds really, really crazy for a person to be like, why would you claim schizophrenia? And it's not that I'm claiming schizophrenia, but I do have that in my family. I do not know what mental disorder my dad had, but I do know I have a brother who has schizoaffective disorder, and that is schizophrenia and another mental disorder. My aunt, who is my dad's younger sister, she pretty much just kind of explained our whole family tree, kind of. And, you know, it's a very sad story. You know, it starts with, I think she's my great-great-grandmother. She was a little girl, and she was like sitting on a bench with her mom, and some man came up behind her right? And my great-grandmother, like, she kept that inside. She never saw a therapist. She never took medicine. She never talked about it, period, right? So you got this kind of trauma that you're holding in, and, you know, you don't talk to anybody about it. So basically, you know, it's kind of like that's kind of what started everything, you know, and it just, you know, passed down through the generations, I guess. Because the way my aunt said it, she was just like, baby, everybody in the family a little touch. She was like, even the ones that try to act like they're not, she said they are too. She was like, I'ma just, you know, or whatever. But I just want to know, like, and again, autism is one of those things I never really like researched. I never really thought about, but I randomly saw something about, you know, undiagnosed autism or something like that or whatever. I'm a nerd. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, I'm a nerd. I like all this like nerdy stuff. I don't know, psychology. I mean, yes, it is a very, very big part of me. It's a very big part of who I am. And it helps me to try to understand, you know, why I do the things that I do, or, you know, if I, yes, indeed, could have like these different diagnoses that I keep thinking about, you know, whatever. But I'm sorry, I have to watch Vixen. What's wrong, mommy? Come here. She always do that. She don't never be steady me till I start talking to this camera. She always make me forget what I was saying. But I just know I made a video and I was talking about my childhood where that's kind of how I always felt. Like, Arailyus, we don't want you here. We don't want you around, right? And it's like, in my mind, I was like, but why? Like, what am I doing? Like, why can't I go? Like, why can't I be over there? You know, like this why? You know? Especially when there are other people that act just like me or worse, and they're not treated the way that I'm treated, you know. I feel bad for her. I really feel bad for her because I don't know why. I mean, maybe this is why mental illness still has that stigma on it, because it's like, even though these are like personality traits, it's kind of like we can't help it, you know. I made a post one day and I was like, society says, you know, be normal or something. Like, society says be normal, and then they're like, no, not like that though, you know, whatever. And there was just like this little dialogue I had in my head, where I said to a person, you know, would you rather I act more like you? And the person is like, no, I'd rather you just not be weird, right? Like, this is my personality. Like, why am I being punished for having this personality when there are many other people that have my same personality and they are not treated the way that I am treated? They're not singled out the way that I'm singled out, you know, whatever. And of course, the first thing people say is that, oh, you're so sensitive. You're so sensitive. Well, yes, I am sensitive. If we're being honest, I am sensitive. And guess what? That's a trait of being on the spectrum, of being neurodivergent. You are in your own little world. Things that make sense to you don't make sense to other people, and vice versa. You have little quirks. There are little things that you do. You are weird. You are socially awkward. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are other things, but this is all neurodivergent, right? And it's crazy because at least we're admitting that there's an issue. Like, no, we're not a psychiatrist, and, you know, we don't have a degree or a license to tell us that we can go and diagnose ourselves, but at the same time, at least we're admitting that there is something going on and we're trying to fix it. We're trying to help it, versus the other people that are in denial that anything is even wrong with them, right? I made this post one time, right? And I said, people usually cheer for the underdog, but you have to read the fine print. It's still at the people's discretion. So, in other words, if you are not the underdog that they want to support, they're still not going to support you, right? Because I'll be honest, I will be so completely honest. Now, I know this personality that everybody sees, like, I know this is probably, you know, a lot of people are like, whoa, what's going on? But the reality of the situation is this is my real personality. I just was always hiding it. I believed when Satan told me that people wouldn't like me if they saw my real personality, so I tried to hide it, which made me even more weird and made people not like me even more. Like, it's so crazy. Like, okay, we're definitely not gonna get on that, but the trick Satan plays with our mind. So yeah, this personality, you know, I love it. I feel like I'm unapologetic. I feel like I'm free. I feel like I'm happy. I don't owe anybody anything. I'm not worried about hurting anybody's feelings. Like, I'm me, and I'm able to be free. Like, literally, I just feel free, right? And when I tell you, so many people, okay, that's what I was saying. So many people are like so hurt by me finally finding myself, my voice, and finally accepting who I am. That's why I said the people usually cheer for the underdog, but if you're not the underdog they want to cheer for is that cheer is going to turn into hate. So you would think, you know, that people would be so happy, because most of the people that know me, majority of everybody that knows me, knows that I have struggled with my mental health literally my whole life, right? So you would think that, you know, I'm at a place where I feel like I kind of got a hold on things. You would think that the people that know me would be happy for me and support me. Like, she finally got it. You know, she's been struggling for so long and she finally got it. But no, they hate on me. They hate on me. They take my ideas. They take my ideas and try to pass them off as their own. But you know what? You know how they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right? I'ma just say this. Because I'm a creative, I can always come up with something else. If somebody steals this idea that I have, and say they blow up off of it, right? Yes, I'm gonna be pissed. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I'm gonna be pissed. But guess what? I'll come up with something else the very next day, if not that same day. Probably give me about 10 minutes. I'll come up with something else, right? So as a creative, it's kind of like, you know, like, it's not the problem with coming up with the ideas, but when you're not a creative and you're inspired by somebody, but instead of you telling that person, I'm inspired by you, or I love your creativity, it's like they try to discredit you, but at the same time, they're doing what you're doing, right? But because you don't have a big audience like them, when and if they see me doing it, they gonna think I got it from the other person. When in reality, it's the other way around. You get what I'm saying? That's my situation. But again, just how I tie that into Amanda Seales is just, she's very outspoken. She's very opinionated. She doesn't like to hear no. She doesn't like to hear that's just the way it is. Like, you know, people with a neurodivergent brain, we don't like hearing because I said so, or that's just the way that it is. I'm gonna tell y'all the craziest thing, right? I know I have no control over the algorithm, right? But when I tell you, my mind is like, I am determined to figure this shit out. I am determined. You know, somebody actually even said to me one time, they're like, girl, as smart as you are, you ain't figured out how to, you know, work the algorithm yet, you know. But the algorithm is a different beast. I'm not that good in math, but, you know, some things where at least if I had a formula, I could try to figure it out, you know, but with the algorithm, there is no formula. Somebody did comment on one of my videos, and they said something about I think it's SEO or something like that. I don't understand all that stuff. I know there are people that can, you know, that specialize in stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know. I just want to be creative. I don't want to have to try to figure out how to make the video go viral, what hashtags to use, what music, what time of day. Like, I don't want to have to try to figure all that out. I just want to be creative. But as a content creator, you kind of have to have some understanding of that stuff. If not, you literally are going to be stuck with no views. Your channel is not going to grow. But it's like, my brain, because I'm so creative, the technical stuff, I get so caught up on that, you know, whatever. And I know I got sidetracked again. I do have ADHD too now, so. But I'm trying to keep coming back to my, I'm trying to keep coming back to my point of Amanda Seales. But I relate to her on so many different levels, and it's like, wow. I do appreciate, you know, it's not that I'm happy that she's going through that. I do appreciate that someone else is going through that, in the sense of, you know, Satan always try to make us feel like what we're going through, we're the only one that's going through it. So to know that indeed, not just her, there are probably a lot of other people, but she stood out to me because I felt like I really, really resonated with her. But yeah, I don't know. But I heard she got fired, and I feel bad for her because, again, I don't know all the details, but from what I saw, or from what I heard or read or researched, whatever, It was something dealing with the whole Palestine situation, and she was telling them, you know, I need y'all to have my back when I speak about Palestine, because I'm gonna have to speak about it. And I don't know if like they told her yes they were gonna have her back and they didn't. Like, I don't know, but I just know the situation, her getting fired, they made it her fault. Like, basically, they made it her fault. No matter what, it was her fault. And I just feel like that's so unfair to her. No, ma'am. You gotta stop. She looking like whoever you talking about. That's why I bought you a scratching post. Because you scratch my couch, I'm going to beat your ass. Do you hear me? Mm-hmm. I have to talk to her like that. But yeah, oh my God, I've been talking for too long. I just really wanted to say that I relate to her, and I feel sorry for her. And I know she will never see this video, but I do feel sorry for her. And I mean, now the good thing, because I think what they said too, I mean, at least she does have a following. She may not be, you know, a A-list celebrity or anything like that, but she still has a following. And I think somebody said, you know, like, even if she was to become a content creator, because I think she does have her own thing, like her own business or whatever. And I think it was Layla Lynn's video. I think that's who video it was. And they were saying like she likes working by herself or whatever. So, I mean, again, she has an audience. So, again, she may not be an A-list star, so she may not be an A-list content creator, but at least I feel like she would be able to make a living as a content creator, you know, because she does have a an audience. So I know somebody said, you know, celebrity broke is not the same as regular folks broke, you know. So I'm sure she'll be okay. You know, I wish her nothing but the best. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. It's I ain't gonna say that, because yes, I do. It's not very often where I feel like I can kind of relate to a celebrity. And this is not like, you know, this definitely ain't like worshiping, none of that. Like putting her on a pedestal. Like, look, I think we have seen, you know, with everything that's going on in the news and all this stuff, like, people love to say, you know, oh, y'all worship these celebrities, y'all follow these celebrities, I just relate to her. So that's all that is. Like, I'm not trying to meet her, none of that stuff or whatever. I just wanted to talk about her situation because I felt like I could relate to it. So yeah, I'm gonna end it on that. If you like this kind of video, these kind of videos where I just randomly talk about things, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Yeah. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.